Everybody, in this video we are going to take a look at how to evaluate limits at infinity. To evaluate a limit at infinity, one thing from Algebra 2 you need to think back to is the idea of a horizontal asymptote. So if we look at a function, x plus 1 over 2x, if you were to graph that, again, go to Desmos, use 284, you'd get something like this. And of course, you'd have a vertical asymptote here at x equals 0. If you were looking at the limit as x approached 0, you'd have an essential discontinuity. And you would have no limit as x approaches 0. Okay? But we're not really interested in the limit as x approaches 0 here. We're interested in the limit as x approaches infinity. So as you get really, really, really big. So what you got is, perhaps you remember, back to Algebra 2, you have this horizontal asymptote here at y equals 1/2 in this particular case. We'll get into the particulars of how you might remember it's y equals 1/2. Spoiler alert, it's the coefficient of x over the coefficient of x. But what you can see is as x gets really large, to the right, positive infinity, you go to positive 1/2. As x goes to the left, as x gets really large in the negative direction, you get also the y value approaches 1/2. So the limit at infinity matches the location of this horizontal asymptote. And what you really want to consider for a quick second is if x is really, really, really large. Let's just use 10,000 for a quick second. Why 10,000? I made it up. When x is equal to 10,000, this plus 1 is effectively irrelevant. The top would be 10,001. The bottom would be 20,000. The plus 1 is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is the x and the 2x, which is why it's 1/2. 1 is irrelevant. Same thing here. If it were negative 10,000, you'd have negative 10,001 and negative 20,000. So you'd actually have, that's wrong, you'd have negative 9999 over negative 20,000, which is, again, for all intents and purposes, positive 1/2. So when it comes to limits at infinity, it is all about the horizontal asymptote. So with our discussion of horizontal asymptotes at hand, we're going to evaluate 3 limits at infinity simultaneously. The reason we want to do 3 limits simultaneously is I want you to really take a moment, pause the video, figure out the only difference between these 3 functions. Hopefully you've determined that the only difference is the degree of the numerator. Everything else is identical. So let's dive into what this means exactly. All right. So in the previous thing, we talked about horizontal asymptotes. We'll take a look at those 3 graphs in just a moment. But remember, big numbers. If we use 10,000 again for our big X, right? If we, again, we're just going to use X equals 10,000 kind of repeatedly here to represent a big number, you know, somewhere up towards infinity somewhere. So 2 times 10,000 is 20,000 plus 3, right? So 20,000 plus 3 is 20,003. Easy peasy. If you now square 10,000, multiply it by 3, you get 300 million plus 1. Now, take a quick second. Evaluate 20,000 divided by 300 million. It's not exactly 0, but it's 0, right? It's going to get awfully close to 0 pretty quickly. So really what's going on is you're picturing large numbers. The only thing that really matters is the degree here. When the degree, this should sound familiar from horizontal asymptotes, when the degree of the denominator is bigger than the degree of the numerator, the limit as x approaches infinity is 0. Next, what happens when the degrees are equal? Well, again, The 3 and the 1 are basically irrelevant. Again, a big old, if you take a picture in 10,000, what happens? X squared, 10,000 squared is huge. 10,000 squared is also huge, but they're equivalently huge. So what's the most important thing right here going on? The leading coefficient. Because what you're going to have is, 200 million over 300 million. 200 million over 300 million still reduces to 2/3. And then finally, what happens over here as you have a bigger one up on top? Well, since the exponent in the numerator, the degree of the numerator is larger, the numerator will grow at a more rapid rate than the denominator. Over here, the denominator was growing far faster, so it's always going to go to 0. Here, we're going to have, this limit is not going to exist. Why? Because the numerator will continue growing far quicker than the denominator. So what does that mean? Well, let's look at the graph. The first one we said was 0, and what you're going to see is it's got a horizontal asymptote here at 0. It's approaching 0 pretty quickly. The farther and farther to the right you're going to get 0. The second one we decided was 2/3. Once again, if you analyze this thing, it's going to get there pretty quickly, but as x gets super large out to the right-hand side, y is going to approach 2/3, the fraction of the leading coefficients. And finally, what does that last one look like where the degree of the denominator is smaller? Well, the numerator is going to continue growing. So what's going to happen is you're going to have what's called a slant asymptote. So the limit is not going to exist when the degree of the numerator is larger. So let's take a quick summary as well as an example. So take a minute, see if you can determine these 3 limits. Hopefully these are the 3 you came up with. The degree of the denominator is larger, so you're going to go to 0. The degrees are equal on top and bottom, on numerator and denominator, so the fraction of the leading coefficient is what's most relevant. And finally, the degree of the numerator is larger, so the numerator will continue growing more quickly than the denominator. The degree of the numerator is larger. The function will continue to increase. Continues to increase as x increases. So there is no limit in this case.